Hey guys, I'm doing a video on a spear today, so I put on my little mask and did a little dance for you. So we're making this cool spear with a rubber tip, some bamboo, and some grass. And it should look cool for costumes or just hanging on the wall. So, should be a good tutorial. Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing this this spear. I don't want to give you a materials rundown of what kind of stuff we're doing here with the. So first of all, we're going to need some foam. This is like that 1/4 inch closed cell foam. I got this from Big Lots. Actually, it was one of those mats that you, like a garage mat that you stand on. So some foam, you know, the usual stuff, pen and scissors, that kind of stuff. I'm using a folder because I'm cutting out the shape of the spear on this so you can trace it. So any little light cardboard is better than paper. So if you can get a file folder or something like cardboard like that. Glue gun would be using some of this twine. You know, it's just like the regular packing twine or whatever that you get at the hardware store. That kind of stuff to wrap the top of it. This bamboo, trying to get an idea of how wide this is. Let's see here. It's about an inch. It's an inch piece of, but it always starts out narrower and gets deeper. So the part we want to stick the tip on is about an inch wide. So if you can find some bamboo about an inch wide, that's good. And it's just up to you how long you want it. This is just a 4-foot piece. I made some other ones that were like 6 feet because I wanted to put it on the wall. So just you can get this at the hardware store, any bamboo that you can find at the hardware store. And most importantly is this is one of those hula skirts you get at the party store. I don't know specifically, you know, some of them are plastic and some of them are like real fiber, whatever this is made from. So if you can go to the, you know, we had those iParty or whatever stores, if you can go and find some of that stuff, it's roughly about, I don't know, 1.5 feet long. So that will work for the top part of the spear. And we're just going to cut that. So that's about it for materials. So we'll go on to the next section. Right. So the first part of this is designing your spearhead. So what you want to do, we're going to draw this out on a piece of cardboard. This is like the little file folder. So what you want to do is draw your center line first, zip, and then draw your half of the spearhead. And you want to leave like a little bit at the bottom because it's going to end up look like this. You want to leave a little at the bottom so you have it to attach to the top of the spear. Because if it's too pointy at the bottom, it's not going to work. Not going to look right anyway. So you draw this half of the spear and you cut it out so you end up with this half. And then you go and you draw the other half of your spear. Just take the piece that you cut out and just flip it over like that. And just draw the other shape. So you end up with the other half, which I know it's not even, but it's because I freehanded this side. So you're going to end up with a symmetrical spear like this. So you've just taken that, flipped it over, draw the other half so it's symmetrical. So everybody's got that. So then you're going to transfer that over your foam. See, because you got this cardboard cut out, you transfer that over your foam. And what I did is I actually took a one of these, what do they call these things? A grease pencil. And you could take chalk and do it too. And just went to a piece of foam and traced it out. And if you do, this is a white grease pencil, so it gives you, you can see that little line. All right, so you just go trace it out, pretty simple. Cut it out with a pair of scissors. And this is 1/4 inch foam, which seems to be rigid enough to not make it, you know, it's not floppy and anything. Alright, so you got that down. Okay guys, I'm back after eating lunch. Had a nice sandwich for lunch because I got really hungry in between shooting, and the camera battery died too. So that was awesome. Alright, so a quick word about cutting bamboo. You probably can't see this detail, but when you cut bamboo it tends to splinter and the little edges get all splintery like that. In order to keep that from happening to a minimum, you got to use a saw with a really small teeth. If you use a big saw, or if you take a like a radial saw and cut it, it's going to be all splintered and messed up. It's going to just be all rough on the edges, and it doesn't look that good. You have to do a lot of sanding to get that right. If you don't want to do a lot of sanding, use a really small tooth blade, like something like this, and cut that. So what we got to do is we got to cut a piece out of this end like that, and you got to make a little slot. So we're going to slide the tip in like that, slide it in. So what you do is, I just eyeballed this and put this right in the center here, and just took a marker and as close to the center as you can get it right there, and just take a Sharpie and mark it. And then I got this 1 inch down, so just take this and measure like this, 1 inch, and do the best you can to just get it straight. It's not going to make a huge difference. And just mark it 1 inch down and make a slot shaped like this on each side, so you know where to saw down to. So the arrow will go down like this, obviously, like that. So now we're going to go outside and we're going to cut this with the Dremel tool. I'm going to saw this piece out. Okay guys, a quick word about safety. Please, for God's sakes, be safe. Yeah, that being said, let's get on with the rest of the project. Alright, we got a piece here, and I just used some spring clamps. It's always a good idea to put some clamps and clamp your piece to the table so it's not flying all over the place while you're trying to cut it, okay? I'm using a Dremel tool with a little metal cut-off wheel, which cuts anything pretty much. It might burn a little bit, but it'll be fine. Alright, so you can cut this with a saw if you have like a jigsaw or something small. It works fine, just a little bit extra work. So anyway, I'm going to use this Dremel, and we're just going to cut down and right down to the line. Alright, now we're done cutting. If you want to, you can just take a coarse file or whatever file. Just clean out the edges there. A little bit cleaner there. You can take some sandpaper and sand that edge if you want. Just clean the edges off there, and it should be good. It should slip right in there. Alright, I've come back in after we made our cut, and it pretty much fits perfect there, because you cut on the lines and stuff. So you can see it almost holds itself in there. So we're going to want to glue that bad boy in now. So what I'm going to do is put a big blob of glue right in the middle, because I think if you do on the outside it's going to show up. So I thought it would look a little bit better if you just put a big blob sort of toward the middle, and then tuck that in like that, and I'm hoping that will hold it. And then just make sure it's straight on there, straight as you can get it. And then you can put some right on the inside right there like that, and that should probably hold. So after that gets glued in there, what you want to do is you want to give yourself a blob of glue and stick your twine in there like that, and then wait for that to dry. Alright, you got your you got the string started on here now. So what you want to do is, see, I glued this like a couple inches down so I could overlap over top of it, so when you'll cover up the glue. So you want to wind it up toward a little bit toward the spearhead, so it looks like it's holding in the spearhead, because that's the whole idea with the twine, to make it look like it's holding the spearhead in, and it sort of covers up a little bit. And then you can wind it back down. Well, it fell off the couch. Kind of wind it back down a little bit, and I just spin it like this. And you start off with about six feet of twine. So it'll be about 2 inches long, roughly. 1.5 to 2 inches is fine. So by the time you get in, you know, with something like this, it doesn't matter if it's perfect, because it's supposed to make it look like it was made by a native person. So we'll just fast forward to the next part. So when you get done When you get done wrapping this, then just put a little bead of glue on the end to glue down this little last piece, and it should stay there. Okay, kids, we're almost done with this spear, believe it or not. So you've got this hula skirt thing that we got from the store, and it usually comes in about, I don't know, like 40 inches, something like that, enough to wrap around you, and then it's got these little ties to tie together for the hula skirt thing. And this one is like whatever grasses it's made out of. It's a natural one. And I think the natural one look better than, like, you can buy those. The plastic ones don't look as good. So the first thing you do is, I measured off about 10 inches. You can do 15 or whatever you want to do. But 10 inches seemed like it made it thick enough. So glue the ends, because these little things will move. They'll come off. They'll slide off. So just glue the end of it right here. A little bit of glue. Wherever you cut it. It won't slide off the other end because it's got a knot. So I guess you could knot the other end. But anyway. So this is about 10 inches. So we're going to start wrapping this. We're going to just kind of test fit. So you can glue it right on the bottom of the twine there to cover up, or you could just go just below it. And we're going to sort of wrap it around so it has a little bit of a stair step like this. And then we're just going to glue it to itself. So that's what you're going to have, is that once we get this glued on. So you just put some glue on the beginning of it, and if you really want to be sure, you can do a wrap and then glue it, but I'm just going to glue the beginning and glue the end roughly, and hopefully that'll hold it on there. Alright, so I wrapped this all around here, and I just glued the end of the little tie down to the end, and that should be it. Alright guys, so you got your spear all done. Looks pretty good, right? And you can go, we're not. So anyway, if you got any comments or questions, go ahead and leave a comment. Appreciate it. And I'll be back with another tutorial in maybe a week or two. Thanks.